So what are our guests going to be doing when they're on board this great vessel? Well, the full extensive Cunard entertainment programme that is so different and unique will run on this ship. From the Insights programme, where we have guest speakers that come from all different walks of life to talk about science, to talk about arts, the media, to talk about exploration. Celebrity appearances, as we have on many of our Cunard vessels. In fact, the next celebrity appearance I think we have is on Queen Mary 2 in June, when we have James Taylor performing for our guests. And we also run book clubs on all our ships, where guests are told of the featured book in advance. They have a chance to read the book and then have a chance to discuss the book all together. And quite often we have the author of the book on board to add an extra dimension to that discussion. Our guests are able to take advantage of our special partnerships with the Royal Astronomical Society, for example, when members come on board and give talks about the stars above. And indeed, they then take our guests out on deck with our Cunard telescopes and they look at the stars in the way stars should be viewed, out in the middle of the ocean with no light pollution. Oxford University Press Science Club, they come on board, they talk to our guests about the likes of string theory or the theory of evolution. The Royal Geographical Society, who come and talk about different places around the world, their history and their geography. And of course RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, who come on board to give our guests workshops in acting. And of course they also perform doing wonderful plays, quite often traditional Noel Coward plays, on board the ship. We also have West End style musicals, as we've mentioned, in the Royal Court Theatre, grand balls in the Queen's Room, musical interludes around the ship, whether it be trios or quartets or harpists, and of course traditional activities out on deck, whether it be deck quoits or traditional shuffleboard. But in addition to all of that, this particular vessel will have a unique strand of entertainment that does recreate that country house party of the 1930s, through our Ivor Novello piano evenings in the midship bar, through the supper clubs up in the garden lounge, and the garden parties out on the aft deck. We'll also celebrate our link with dancing. Our Cunard guests love to dance. So here we'll have big band balls where we pull together 16, 17, even 18 members of an orchestra to perform in the Queen's Room. We'll have dance marathons. These started off in the 1930s, so we'll have the occasional dance marathon to see who of our guests and our crew can really dance the longest. We'll have lessons in traditional ballroom dancing, but also Lindy Hop and Jitterbug, and also dance competitions that are now so popular in this era, but also were very popular back in the 1930s. We'll be celebrating our celebrity links, as we always do, but in this ship we'll have a classic film club, which will show films from the 30s and 40s. We'll have special Insights programme talks, talking about the filmmakers and the actors of that time. And we'll have our Cunarders Gallery, which will be a special gallery that shows the different famous Cunarders of the past, people that came and sailed with us that are so familiar to us all. In terms of our artwork, I've intimated that we will have some wonderful pieces on board. It will be specially commissioned artwork, and that artwork and architectural collection will be valued in excess of £2 million. It'll help create the Art Deco feel on board and capture that ocean liner mystique of the 30s and 40s. We'll have paintings, prints and sculptures by British artists in particular, and we will have memorabilia and images from the previous Cunard Queens, especially Queen Elizabeth and QE2. And that Cunarders Gallery will show those famous guests from the past. So what of her maiden season itineraries? Well, the maiden voyage for this ship will be down to the Canary Islands. Why the Canary Islands, I hear you ask? Well, that was the routing of the very first voyage that QE2 ever took. So we're going to retrace that voyage on the maiden voyage of Queen Elizabeth. That departs on the 12th of October 2010, and that's a 13-night voyage with fares from £1,489 right up to £15,799. Her second voyage will take her into the Mediterranean, where she'll have 7 maiden calls, a 14-night voyage heading mainly to Italy and obviously also to Spain and Gibraltar. She'll then head a little further east in the Med through into the Aegean Sea, so our guests can enjoy the likes of Turkey and Greece in an 18-night voyage, a longer voyage. And then she'll do a short debut to the north of Europe, calling in Amsterdam, Zeebrugge for Bruges and Cherbourg. Just a 5-night voyage there from just £599 per person. And then she'll do another Canary Islands voyage before heading then off to the Caribbean for her Christmas voyage, which will be the first time she, of course, travels across the Atlantic. When are these going to be on sale? Well, this will be from the 2nd of April and will go on sale at 1 p.m. And that will be on sale around the world all at that same time. So we'll look with interest at how quickly those maiden voyages do fill. The launch schedule for this ship, well, the first steel was cut in September of last year. The keel laying will be in June of this year, and then the float out will be in December of 2009. She'll undertake her sea trials in the early summer of 2010. The delivery to us will be in September, the end of September of 2010, and then of course, as we've just mentioned, her maiden voyage will be on the 12th of October in 2010. So here she is. This is the new Queen Elizabeth, our new Cunard Queen. She is a sister ship to Queen Victoria. She does have some architectural differences, and she will certainly have her own personality from the atmosphere we're creating on board with the different activities and pastimes. And of course she will then join her sister ships and will once more have 3 Cunard Queens on the ocean waves at the same time. And this fleet, remarkably, will be the youngest fleet in the world.